Good morning, everyone. Myself, Saumya Grover, Assistant Professor, Jagannath University, Jaipur. Today, we are going to learn about non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication takes place without the use of words. A communication where we do not need to speak or write anything. Non-verbal communication involves the unconscious mind acting out emotions related to the verbal content, the situation, and the environment. It includes everything from the simple shrug of the shoulder, the V sign, the OK ring, the thumbs up gesture, eye movements, facial expressions, body posture, gestures, gait, and clothing to the tone of the voice, the accent, and the inflections. Nonverbal components of communication also involve the use of space, of touch, and smell, and paralanguage. According to experts, a substantial portion of our communication is nonverbal. Every day, we respond to thousands of nonverbal cues and behaviors, including postures, facial expression, eye gaze, gestures, and tone of voice. Albert Mehrabian, expert on body language and author of such books as Tactics in Social Influence, Prentice Hall, New Jersey, 1969, and Silent Messages, Wadsworth, California, 1971, found out that the total impact of oral message his research reveals about the oral message understanding in the following way. The impact of oral message is about 7% verbal words only, 38% vocal, tone of voice or inflection, etc., and 55% non-verbal. Non-verbal communication serves the following functions: repeating verbal messages, substituting verbal messages, complementing verbal messages, regulating or accepting verbal message, and deception. Types of non-verbal communication. Facial expressions. Faces, it is said, is the mirror of the mind. It is the most obvious vehicle for non-verbal communication. It is a constant source of information to the people around us. Our faces reveal how we are feeling inside while we might be trying to present a different emotion. For example, while telling a lie, a child tries to cover his or her mouth with both the hands. A teenager tries to cover her mouth with one hand. These gestures are called the mouth guard gestures. Also, the colors of one's face, the wrinkles, presence or absence of facial hair, etc., reveal a lot about a person's personality. For example, people with dark tans supposedly spend a lot of time outdoors. Hairstyles and makeup provide insight into one's economic status, interest in fashion, etc. The eye behavior. Eyes cannot lie, as it is said. Eyes and their effect on human behavior are as important to poets and painters as to the students of non-verbal communication. This is because one can communicate a lot just with the help of the eyes. From winking, seeing, glaring, staring eyes can perform many functions. The size of the eye, particularly the size of the pupil, is indicative of a person's mood when one is happy. The pupil dilates or grows larger. When we are angry, our pupils constrict or grow smaller. Eye behavior can do the following. Number one, provide information. Number two, regulate interactions. Number three, exercise control. Number four, express intimacy. Eye contact is another important facet of eye behavior. When one maintains eye contact with the audience, he or she is perceived as sincere, friendly, and relaxed. Those who don't maintain eye contact while talking to others are perceived as nervous. In fact, effective orators and communicators use periodic eye checks to find out if the audience members are being attentive or not. Another important function of eyes is expressing intimacy. Eyes help us create connections with others. In fact, eyes have been described as windows to the soul. We communicate important information and feelings through the eyes in addition to oral communication. Eyes also help us encourage or discourage others. For example, a simple glare may stop students from talking, while a warm glance and an encouraging smile often win many friends. Kinesics and body movement. Ray Birdwhistell, an expert in the field of nonverbal communication, coined the term kinesics for the different body expressions. Kinesics means study of body movements. Five categories of specific body expressions are emblems, illustrators, regulators, affect displays, and body manipulators. Emblems are commonly recognized signs that are used very frequently. These include the OK ring, touching the temple, putting a finger to the lips, asking for silence, the V sign, the thumbs up sign, etc. Illustrators are signs that are directly related to the verbal messages. For example, spreading the palm often illustrates the size or length while we talk about something. Illustrators help emphasize the verbal message. Regulators include signs like gazes, nods, raised eyebrows, etc. These signs help us regulate or control verbal communication. Facial expression like angry stares, wide eye, trembling heart, or knocking knees indicate one's internal emotional states. These are called affect displays. Posture and gait. The way we stand or sit and the way we walk, gait, are strong indicators of our physical and emotional states. When we are aggressive, we sit or stand straight in an alert manner. When we are defensive, we usually sink into our chair or stand with our head, shoulders hanging. When confident, we walk with our chin raised, chest puffed, and arms swinging freely. Our legs are often little stiff and our walk has a bounce when we are confident. A standing posture with hands on hips indicates an aggressive frame of mind. Personal appearance. Personal appearance is one of the most important factors that influence the effectiveness of our interpersonal and group communication. In fact, one's personal appearance is very crucial as it makes the all important first impression. This is particularly important as advertisements shape our minds day in and day out through all those beautiful people who endorse everything from hairpins to aeroplanes. So, we manipulate our personal appearance to look good. We try to accentuate or highlight our best features while hiding and underplaying the others. Clothing. Our clothing provides the visual clue to our personality. Clothes also indicate about one's age, interests, and attitudes. Information about one's status can be judged from the clothes' age, condition, and fashion. Clothes are used as means of keeping up with the latest social changes. Also, clothes are means of decoration and self-expression. Clothing also indicates about a person's confidence, character, and sociability. These are the reasons why it is said that clothes make a person. Haptics, also known as touching. Haptic communication refer to the ways in which people and other animals communicate and interact via the sense of touch, as well as providing information about surfaces and textures. Touch or the haptic sense is a component of communication in interpersonal relationships that is non-verbal and non-visual. Touch is extremely important for humans and is vital in conveying physical intimacy. Touch can be categorized in terms of meaning as positive, playful, control, ritualistic, task-related, or unintentional. It is the most common form of physical contact between human and animals. In fact, animals use touching much more frequently and to great effects. Human beings use touching to emphasize a point, interrupt as a calming gesture, or reassure. Also, touching is very important to healthy development of children. It is the physical space in communication, known as proxemics. It is the study of how people use and perceive the physical space around them. The space between sender and receiver of a message influences how message is interpreted. People often refer to their need for personal space and growth, which is also an important type of non-verbal communication. The amount of distance we need and the amount of space we perceive as belonging to us is influenced by a number of factors, including social norms, situational factors, personality characteristics, and level of familiarity. A level of familiarity. There are four spatial zones. Intimate distance. It ranges from actual contact up to 18 inches. We allow only very close persons with this range. Personal space, 18 inches to 4 feet. It is used for casual interactions. Social space, 4 feet to 8 feet. It is maintained with people with whom we are meeting for the first time or while conducting business. Public space 8 feet onward. Well maintained during public meetings. Paralanguage. Paralanguage. Non-verbal cues of the voice. Various acoustic properties of speech such as the tone, the pitch, the accent, collectively known as prosody, can all give off nonverbal cues. Paralanguage may change the meaning of words. Oral communication does not just occur through words uttered. The words are supplemented by a lot of other factors, particularly related to the voice. The pitch, tempo, range, resonance, and quality of voice add a lot of flesh and blood to the words. These vocal characteristics and vocal sounds constitute paralanguage. Speaking without pitch variation makes the speech monotonous. Pitch is the raising or lowering of our voice. Resonance, on the other hand, is the variation of volume from a quiet and thin voice to loud, booming voice. Speaking too fast or too slow is a variation of tempo. Paralanguage gives us clues about age, sex, emotional states, personality, etc. That's all for today's lecture. Thank you very much.